What's good, guys? We're back here on another weekly recap. This is our second weekly recap we're going to be doing. Well, overview, actually. We're not doing a recap. But if you guys remember from last week's Sunday night weekly overview, we were saying that we had all this drawn out. This is from last Sunday's weekly overview. We were expecting price to come up and then potentially sweep out these highs over here and dip down into one of these fair value gaps. I said I didn't like this one because at the moment we were trending about, where's last Sunday? Last Sunday we were about like right here. Like, let me get rid of these vertical lines. Right here, somewhere around here when I recorded the video. I'm not sure. We were around here and I was like, I'd like to see a retrace back into this one because at the moment, this lower fair value gap was falling within our 50% equilibrium, which is what I like to see. But what I didn't realize is if we push up this liquidity, we're going to have a lot more price movement up to the upside. So our equilibrium would move up higher as well. Therefore, our equilibrium would be sitting at this fair value gap. So if we pump up, sweep this liquidity, it would have been nice to see this fair value gap down here get filled. So that's pretty much what happened. So we had our plan and our plan worked out. Our evaluation or speculation for the next week worked out perfectly. So this ain't magic, man. This is a simple strategy. You guys can learn this too. It's not that complicated. So we swept out this liquidity, came and filled this fair value gap, and then as you can see, never closed below and continued pumping. Now, let's do our weekly recap for the coming days. So I'm still going to keep this fair value gap here. But let's analyze what we think is going to happen on everything else. So on the weekly time frame, we were able to close above these highs. So we flipped bullish on the week. I'm not sure if we saw this as well. No, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't see this on Monday. I mean, the last Sunday evaluation. This closed above this high right here. See, you can see this green candle or white candle. This upside candle closed above this high right here. These two candles, this high. So that means that we're bullish on the weekly. So we might see a potential retracement. We have a weekly fair value gap formed right here. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these lower ones because I'm going to take them out for like the meantime. We're not going to go there anytime like tomorrow or anything. So there's nothing major to worry about. We'll redraw all of these as well. Let's just start off from a simple chart. Get rid of this vertical line. Nice and clean. So we start off on the weekly. Let's check out the monthly, matter of fact. This monthly candle so far has been green. We did come back. We were trying to take out these highs right here, but we weren't able to. So we still might want to come sometime push it up. We see we came down over here. We broke below this fair value gap, disrespected it, came and filled this order block or accumulation. This entire area is just a bunch of accumulation. See, this is we retraced out of that move. Now we're coming back, picking up more orders from the order block, and we're seeing some bullish action. So we might see price continue heading up to this weekly high up here, and sweep out these highs and maybe fill up more fair value gaps and continue to see more bullishness to the upside for the coming weeks and months. We'll see as time goes by. But so far, we do have this weekly fair value gap. This one hasn't closed yet, so we can't draw a fair value gap on it yet. The next weekly highs we have are up here that we can target, but I believe if we switch to the daily, it'll look a lot nicer. So daily, we took out these highs, so we were able to close above them. We swept the liquidity with this move, which was what we were talking about on last week's overview that we wanted to see. Take out one of these highs and retrace. Now we fully closed above it, and we are retracing now. So the daily, we do have this fair value gap that we saw last week. This is a fair value gap we have right here. Respected that amazingly. I don't even know if that's a word, but well, we just created it. Anyways, let's get rid of this weekly one because we don't really care about what happens in the week. We'll check that out like later, like next week or following week. But we do have these two fair value gaps sitting right here. We didn't get this one to retrace all the way down here and hit equilibrium on this entire move, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. We're on an uptrend. We don't want to coming down here and filling these lower ones would probably cause a downtrend, and we'd have to wait a longer time period. But price just decided to fill this one, which is still valid. Now we took out these highs. We have a fair value gap on the downside right here. We have this one right here as well. We closed above this, so we can get rid of this. We have this last one, and then the next one is up here. It's the tiniest fair value gap ever, but it's still a fair value gap, so we have to keep that in mind. We also have this daily high right here, which is also within the fair value gap. We'll have that on mark just in case. So we have that, so we can see it for next week's evaluation, whether we were right or wrong, or what happened within the week. Sorry, I was just a little bit sick, and I still have a little bit of cough. But so looking at this, we did look like we respected this fair value gap. That's totally fine, because we might see a retracement after this huge move on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, took out these highs. We're bullish on the 4-hour after flipping bearish. This was a beautiful. Well, we did break structure temporarily, but it looked like an amazing liquidity sweep on the daily time frame. Well, actually, we didn't have any lows, but we came back, picked up orders from this fair value gap, and continued pushing up. So that looks bullish to me. Most likely, we'll be playing bullish on Monday after a retracement into this fair value gap, because the daily will still be bullish. 4-hour we'll probably stay bullish, but if it stays bearish, then I'll be a little hesitant to take a trade to the longs. But we have this 4-hour fair value gap right here. This is a higher time frame one, so that's what we're looking at. We broke above these highs, retracing right now, and that's what we're looking at coming into the next week, the following week, the coming week. So here, let me take this off. This is a trade we took on Friday. Amazing trade off of fair value gap fill right here on the 15-minute. Fair value gap fill from up here. Then we got a 1-minute break of structure, and then and 1-minute fair value gap form. And then we entered off a retracement into that fair value gap for extra confluence. So on a daily or weekly time frame, we can get rid of all this, all these drawings. So weekly, we have pumped on NASDAQ. We're getting close to all-time highs. That's insane. Close above this high. We're bullish on the weekly. Let's see. We do have this fair value gap right here. I kind of missed, but it's on the weekly. It's pretty far down. I don't know if we'll get down there, but we'll see. We'll see. On the daily time frame, we do have this fair value gap right here, overlapping the weekly one. We also have this one that was disrespect. Oh, never mind. It was respected. So this fair value gap got respected as well. Filled that. Same move on SPY, I believe. It was this one right here. Jeez, I need some water. Hold up. All right, so 4-hour. Give me a second. All right, we're back, guys. Jesus Christ. I had to take a little break. I was coughing too much. But on the 4-hour of NASDAQ, we see this is a daily fair value gap, by the way, so nothing to worry about. So we do have a bunch of 4-hour fair value gaps that we can fill. And we have this order block, which I doubt we'll get to, but I'd like to see this one get filled up to the 50% mark, which would probably line up with our equilibrium point. So doing this exactly to the T. 4-hour, we're currently bullish. Let me look at the daily. Daily bullish. Took out these highs. We swept this liquidity right here. Next one we have is, I believe, this one, and we have this one as well. Weekly, this is also a weekly high right here. This is a daily one. So on the 4-hour, I like to see price retrace into this fair value gap in the center, and if we don't we might want to fill like this fair value gap and pump up and take out this liquidity, all this resting liquidity up here, and then continue and probably fill up more of these lower fair value gaps. Is what I'd like to see, because we can't be uptrending forever. We gotta retrace down at some point. Because yeah, that's what we gotta do. Same thing with here. See, we had this huge up move. We weren't even filling any of these lower fair value gaps. Like this massive one barely got filled. But as you can see, look at that. That was like the perfect fair value gap. It got filled like beautifully for retracing. So there's no way you can have all this up move and none of it get filled. Once we could see these, we could probably be downtrending right now and fill this, start coming to fill these next week. But who knows? We got to see. Do we want to take out this liquidity first, or we want to take out or come into these fair value gaps first? Regardless, we're banking on whichever one happens. Stay updated on the Twitter though. Twitter, I'll be posting what every trade I take, and we'll be uploading trade recaps and all the different trades we take coming soon. So yeah, pretty much that's all we see. I'm gonna wait for tomorrow to open up, and we'll go into the lower time frames and see what trade setups we got going on. All right, I'll catch you guys next week or whenever you take another trade. Later.